Hello, here we go. I have returned, as has the elevator music, and also the Summer Cup. This is, I guess, apparently week 2. We're still in the group stages here. We got some, Pofke, household name, and Max Snax, aka Max Edward Snax, is in the tournament as well. I don't think I've seen that name in a little while. And then Beanie and Psychosloth. And also, Yosh and Starzy are here. Hello. Is
I
that
ran out of games to play, so I'm just
yeah?
gonna cast now.
Also, is that Starzy? Is that the correct pronunciation?
Yeah, it is. Hello, everyone. Keen to get into these games. There's a lot of really good results today, so yeah, really keen to see how they actually occurred and what we can analyze from the games.
Okay. Anyhow, yes. And now, I did set up a draft screen, although I don't think it really. It's not really a draft. Opie just says like, here, these are the games you're playing. Tough,
It's
like,
so surely everyone has played at least a match and will
Yep.
know that what the draft looks like.
yeah. Turns out there's not actually a draft. It's just these are the maps you're playing, and the order is all predetermined.
Yeah, just
so-
like Opie.
Yep, Opie is just like this is what you get. Good luck. I mean, and I appreciate Opie starting out with Courtyard. I mean, that's just a really great thing to do. Although I kind of wish Courtyard was at the end as well.
No one has ever played Courtyard before OP
Whoops.
put it into Summer Cup 2023, so I'm actually pretty interested to see the venue debut it. Yes, that's absolutely not correct. But let's stop talking about the draft and start talking about the game, so we can talk about the draft while the game is going on.
Yep, I am. I am ready to go. It looks like I see. Oh yeah, Pofke is the first spy. Looks like. Oh, and I gotta switch this around.
He's gonna be stunned on Duke in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So, Courtyard, 4 out of 7. About as cookie cutter, I think, as a venue could be in SpyParty in 2023. I think that's the most formulaic one, at least.
Yeah, and we actually see the white time at as well really, really early, and no actual connections from the sniper yet has no idea that time has been added, or if they do, really hasn't occurred. And we're actually just going to go straight to statues. I really like this, just getting this out of the way. Coming to statues in the late game, it's a real pain. It's just really frustrating when you leave it till the end and you have to rush out those objectives. So
I also like that we are doing a timed, which is usually suggesting that you're gonna be playing slow, you're gonna be taking your time, and then immediately aggressive action into statues. I don't think the sniper will necessarily note it for us to view, but I think there will be a little bit less suspicion if the timed was noticed that it happened. Damn it, not brought back to us just yet, at least, and now we can just take our sweet time with Inspect Stun. However, I'm not sure what the fourth mission will be now that we are the highlight, and it will be a lot harder to figure through.
no, well, that's right. Well, we do actually have a highlight on ourselves, but it's just a statue highlight, so it's not too imperative because everyone who goes to statues is likely going to pick those up. But yeah, it does. Pofke would know that as well. When you're going into Courtyard and you go to statues, you know that at best you're going to be receiving a highlight, at worst you're going to get shot. So it's definitely a little bit of an awkward situation to be in, and it kind of forces you to slow down. But yeah, Pofke is just standing here for quite a while. Might need to start getting a move on at this point. It's probably a good thing they why added at the start.
I mean, as some wise people have said, and some not so wise people have said as well, it's better to time it before you need to time it. And Pofke doing it first thing in the game is actually pretty smart, but now the activity levels have dropped below 0. It seems that we still have no seduction started and we only have 2 minutes and a half left. Usually flirt is a pretty rough mission to finish, especially for people who are used to slower games on their spy side. So here, 19% on the first flirt, not necessarily the best number to have.
Yeah, 19 is pretty dismal, and we actually are going back for a second statue inspect. I don't really think this is the play. I think it's really starting to slow down. Oh, sorry, it was actually for a fingerprint. My apologies. So we did go there for a good reason. We actually got our first fingerprint, which is something we desperately needed at this point because we really need to start pushing these objectives. And it looks like we are going to start coming in for a contact
Banana
soon, I
bread.
believe. Yep, we do see the banana bread. It was a green.
Ooh, and the double agent leaves immediately, and not only that, Max does not like a few talking people in the conversations. So what happened here?
Banana bread.
Not quite sure. Probably maybe a double talk of some kind, but here just a banana bread results in a shot, and Pofke goes up 1-0.
Yeah, good find, I guess. On my screen, it looks like there's not really a shot happening. It's a little
Yeah,
bit weird.
looks like he's shooting a Blink Twin here. But
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that
Yeah.
is. Obviously, we've got a little bit
but
of a
no, but he
bug,
shot.
a
Yeah,
bug
no, there's
here.
some. I mean, he shot. Pofke got shot supposedly.
Oh lord.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it must have been found. But yeah, obviously, obviously,
So in fact, it was.
Max was tracking it here quite well, so he was able to find the shot. But yeah, well done to Max for getting that first win and pulling up 1-0.
Yeah, a little bit of lag is always going a long way, especially on venues like Kotyat, where laser tracking is a pretty important part of playing Spy. But here, Pofke getting caught out for both the timeout apparently and the banana bread as well. Max going up, not Pofke. I'm apologies, I got baited by the laser. Oh well. Now Max, having won the sniper game, has to play the harder side usually. But people have always said that Kotyat is spy-sided, so let's see which side will win in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And we actually see Max on Rocker here, not going for the instant bug. We can't really with the drink in hand, but it looks like we're just going to try and get that away. We will be starting with our Seduce, and I do believe that was a green. So we'll get about 40% on that first screen, which is very nice start. And possibly going in for Inspects. No, looks like we're just going to be entering an empty conversation here. Won't really be doing much. Possibly going for a purloin here. It'd be pretty risky, but no, we just go for a normal drink. So it looks like we'll be slowing down a little.
I really like the flirt at the start. We have seen Pofke having a little bit of an issue getting flirts finished, so Max going for it first thing in the morning. 48% is a very unfortunate number because it means that even the closest green, which as most of us know is 51%, is not gonna be able to get us over the line. But I thought that with going to an empty conversation, we would just try to cheese flirt our way to the top. However, here, a little bit more idling, a little bit more waiting for the AIs to do something suspicious.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. There's definitely nothing wrong with waiting for your time to act, but when you've only got about 3:30, the time goes fast on any map that you're on. So it does look like we're
Oh,
actually
no.
going to go to our ST, and he leaves straight away. Duke does not want to see us. Duke just walks away instantly. So really not a situation you want to be in. And yeah, we're just stuck talking in this conversation. Don't want to see leaving instantly. We don't have a highlight yet, so we still have time for a bit of tomfoolery, but it's, yeah, not looking like the best
Banana
situation
bread.
to be in.
The banana bread is green, so that's a little bit of a saving grace. I have to point out that. Oh, never mind. The shot has happened.
Shot onto salmon.
So not
Interesting.
highlight as well. So
Yes.
probably some kind of double talkie shenanigans as well. But yeah, a few shots that are not necessarily the most explainable to me, but
Yeah, I have to admit, both these shots I'm not like confused on, but they're both a little bit early, especially this one, of course, because it's a civ shot. But you know, all power to Max for pulling out the 2-0. That's really where you want to be at the end of Courtyard. When you walk out 2-0, it always feels awesome. So congrats, but hopefully we'll be able to see this momentum come through as we head to the next venue, High Rise.
ooh, high rise is actually a pretty spicy one. Here in its kind of standard new a way of playing high res, 3 of 6 with either swap or microfilm in. We do see Pofke playing as rocker, and we shall begin this one in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Now,
Yeah.
actually, a pretty interesting setup. I will have to point your attention to the missions chosen already, because transfer and Purloin. Transfer and Purloin and Fingerprint are gonna be there, and no bug.
Yeah, I find it interesting with no bug on.
Because usually the spies prefer to have bug because it's the easiest hard tell to conceal. Once animation is finished, there's no trace. But here, Pofke going for a fingerprint first.
Yeah, definitely a good start to get that fingerprint out of the way. That is one of those irritating objectives that sometimes can be really
And a
hard to get
second
when
as
you're in the late
well.
game.
Oh boy. That
Yeah,
green fingerprint on a green
it
book.
was because Irish was at bookshelves, so that would have been a green. But we do actually get a highlight coming in here on us, and I think for good reason. Possibly tracking that all our fingerprints would be done already. So definitely a good objective to keep on. The question is, how do we actually want to finish this game? Are we going to go for a seduce contact?
Serious contact is usually the way you play high rise. Well, it's usually the way you play any venue, but here is a very interesting concern because
Banana bread.
Pofke doesn't necessarily know it, but Max, I think Max has the third mission here. So if Pofke just finishes via flirt, it's a very dangerous position, and I think we might just be dead for a talk. So at this point, you might need to start thinking about who to frame or how to get that third mission past the sniper in a way that doesn't get us under suspicion, or at least leaves the sniper confused enough so they don't take the shot while we are in the countdown.
Yeah, well, that's right. See, the thing is in this game as well, we're only one of two highlights, and the other one being our ST. So it's really not the situation we want to be in because we've already walked up into a conversation with Seek. So yeah, doing it again might be a little risky,
A little
especially
bit of a
when you're
shake from
nestling up.
Max.
Yeah, when you're nestling up right next to him, that's really not the situation you want to be in. And we still need at least two to it. Yeah, that's not a huge surprise. That was a really good track. That was a really good track by Max there, being able to recognize where Rocker was going in the first conversation.
The catch on microfilm is a fascinating part to me because that briefcase is not something that most people will necessarily note. It's behind that little shutter thing and not necessarily the most visible. You can see it's all in a little bit of a grayish color, but here, Pofke, getting called out for it, and after the banana bread has sounded, it's just a matter of waiting for another talk because Max knows that we can't have flirt finished yet. And yeah, pretty nice track, pretty nice shot by Max Snax.
With that, we will move on to our second game for High Rise, though, where we'll actually be seeing Max next step up to the Spy, and I do believe that we will be playing as Duke, and we will be starting in 3, 2, 1. So we're actually letting the Spy take us control for a little bit, but no, we will be walking. Oh, the ST comes right to us. That is a really nice start. Don't have to go anywhere. We absolutely love that when Alice will come up right next to us.
And Max chooses to play a setup that's a lot more standard. I feel like most people playing this setup choose to leave transfer and fingerprint out, not because they are necessarily bad missions to complete, and in fact, I find particularly fingerprint is rather potent in frame applications, but having Purloin, Bug, and Swap as panic buttons for you to click and induce some chaos is always a very powerful thing, and that's what Max will probably try to fish for as the games are continuing on. 36%, so we'll need at least 2 more flirts, but for now, we do have time. We do have an opportunity to go for that second one.
Yeah, we actually follow Alice this time, which I really respect because it's something that's difficult to track because she came to us the very first conversation. So, oh, that's a really poor seduce though. We're only at about 50 or 60%. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to actually finish this seduce. And Alice walks away, making it a little bit easier to get that cooldown off the board as well. The question is, though, the seduce is the only thing we've done this game. We need to get moving on other objectives, and the moment we do, we're probably gonna pick up a highlight at some point. We're just kind of hoping that there are AIs out there that will look more suspicious than us.
The banana bread is wide. That's a little bit unfortunate, but I think it's not
Banana
too
bread.
bad. Here it sounds, and only one low light here. Potentially can be a low light on Smallman, but with that instant talk afterwards, can't be too certain. And yeah, we do have the banana bread. We do have most of our flirt. In fact, one close green should be enough to get us over the line, but that third, that third might just get us shot on the spot because at this point in the game, surely a random AI has flirt completed.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that as well. I am expecting a possible save shot to come in because it doesn't seem like we have any actual suspicion on ourselves, but we will be following Alice here to the windows here where we will just be standing, and we will be getting the green flirt, which we will finish up. Now we just need to finish our final objective. It doesn't seem like Pofke has really taken any notice to her either, which is exactly what you want. So the question is, are we going to go for those inspects?
I mean, right now there are two ways to finish the game. Well, three technically, but two that are beneficial for the spy here. Either we find a way to finish the third mission, whichever one it may be, or we try to induce a safe shot by, I guess, just sounding another banana bread. Unfortunately for us, double agents don't seem to be too keen on that idea, but we are gonna go for a bug here, and the mission win countdown is counting down. Pofke, however, after a little bit of thinking, decides that yes, it indeed was a bug, and yes, he indeed will be correct. 3 to
Yeah,
1.
that was a good catch by Pofke. Well done, being able to bring back the set 3-1. Very nice. Yeah, that was a good catch because you could only really see the end there, but decided to go for the option that, yeah, I really felt that Duke got the bug there. So, no, it was a good call by Pofke. Ends up working out in their favor.
Potent bug here with the fact that we are zooming out and also the ambassador kind of obscuring our hand pretty nicely, but Pofke, being the good player that he is, sees right through it, and we are sent off to Aquarium with only one game pair behind between the players. So Max is now gonna pick up the rifle and watch if he can recognize that Pofke is gonna be playing as a teal slash mom slash however you want to call her. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I don't. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of playing teal. I will admit that I am one of those people that actually chooses their character a lot, which is probably a bad habit. But yeah, I know that teal has that really awful bug animation where she sticks her entire arm out. So just that kind of puts me off playing her a lot. But you know, all power to Pofke. You can really hide the bug on this map as well, especially with that shark. So definitely a map where you can play odd characters on.
Indeed, and well, for now, a little bit of a nice positioning leaves us right next to our seduction target. 34% on the first flirt, so nothing to write home about, but some progress to be happy with for the time being, at least. There is double agent as well, so we can potentially go for a banana bread. However, so far there's a little bit too many people out of those conversations for my liking and for Pofke's liking as well.
Yeah, I respect that decision because you don't want to give away an early banana bread and just eliminate, 5, 6 people from the party instantly can really just backfire in your face. We walk into a conversation that doesn't really have any value to us here. Looks like we're just going to be playing a little bit slowly, which is fine. But, ooh, no bug coming in on the ambassador. Definitely the right idea there. And we see the shark coming back where Pofke will be making a move, I'm assuming, over to this ST or green bookcases. We do walk back to the ST, trying to get some more seduce target value here. The question is, what else are we going to do? Ooh, we actually leave that conversation very fast.
Okay, so going to the left conversation to try and pick up a bug if the investor takes a little bit longer to leave and ends up behind the shark, but here,
Banana bread.
unfortunately for us, it's not gonna work out. And then going right next to, well, not right next to the seduction target, but close to them enough to flirt, and then just
Banana bread.
cheesing it immediately, and double banana bread. That is pretty interesting and suspicious, and I haven't had those in a while, but for us, 2 missions done, we do have a green book in hand, and well, no highlight just yet, so maybe we can get away with a transfer here.
Yeah, the only problem is we still have 2 objectives to go. We've got this green book in hand, but nothing done just yet. Looks like we will be walking to another empty conversation. Pofke is taking it a little bit slow this game, possibly hoping for a Civ shot to come in through here. But on Aqua, that might be a little bit awkward. We do see Pofke just chilling in this middle conversation. Briefcase taken away, so that won't be an option, although it wasn't already. Pofke is playing a little slow here.
I think the Spy is just trying to set up for those reverse drive-bys, just setting themselves in a position where the investor is likely to pass by, but unfortunately for us right now, no luck. And with only a minute to go, we are definitely falling a lot behind the pacing, especially considering that we still have that book in hand, which kind of limits our range of activities that we can do.
Yeah, that's right. The book does definitely limit you a little. I think maybe Pofke's kind of hoping that they can head over to blue bookcases here and maybe forget that, maybe hope that Max Snax forgets that where Teal got the book from.
Would be
Has been
good,
holding it for a very long time.
but the issue I'm having is even if we go to do that now, that only leaves us with about 10 seconds to get the fourth. So now we're just trying to hard frame someone. And I'm not sure if Max Snax is gonna be sold on it. And even if we get sent somewhere, there's not necessarily a way to finish outside of the time ad, which is exactly gonna be the play. The beeps are gonna slow down. You never wanna time ad when you need it. You have to do it beforehand. And here we are at the bookshelf. The clock hits 0.
We do get away with it, I believe. I don't think Max was even looking in Teal's direction. I do think that if we can find the ambassador, we might be able to get a sneaky bug off. Still 33 seconds left in the game. 5 objectives.
Oh,
That
going
still
for a
could be
bug, but the
Teal.
investor leaves immediately.
Oh,
And
that's
Max is on
awful.
top of it. So, to explain what happened, Max knows that the game is not over because once the spy is in mission win countdown, the overtime beeps will start. And now they're just at 0, so it's either a hung purloin or a hung swap or a time end, which I'm not sure how many people have the purloin, but I'm pretty certain that no one necessarily has the swap because it would have happened already. So here, Pofke, knowing that he doesn't have that much time, just has to go for something, and unfortunately, the investor is not necessarily keen on getting bugged.
Yeah, I have to say, do respect Pofke for going for the attempt, because in that scenario, there's really not much else you can do. The cards are against you. You have to do something. You don't want to just let it come down to that overtime. But yeah, it was really unlucky. The shark just wasn't really helping at all, and that ambassador was just like, nah, I don't really want to be a part of this. So regardless, after that, we will be moving on to the second
I'm
game of
surprised
the
you didn't
program.
go for because when he had the book, he had shark cover. When he could have put it away and had a really good shot to bug the ambassador around 45 seconds. Like he could have just gone. He had perfect shark cover. Could have put the book back. Right around here. Get a bug.
Yeah.
Do a little shark walk.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
No,
Just Pofke just doing the I'm out of time panic.
Would be an
Well-
interesting place. The one issue is I think Max would know where the finish is because nothing else is happening in the venue. And you can shock walk for a while, but you can't shock walk for 10 seconds when the shock is already over there.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, you almost have enough time, but you might be in trouble.
Either way,
And there would be
It's
there
up.
would be beeps as well because Pofke's also
Okay.
all right. Either way, yep.
it's up to Max to get even more ahead. 4-1. Let's see
Yeah, really
if
well
he can
played.
get the 5th point here, playing as Alice in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
definitely a situation you want to be in coming into the end of Aquarium. Being up 3 points gives you a lot of leeway, especially when it's first to 7 as well. You definitely have that value. Or even if you're just looking for a tie here, you're very, very happy with the situation you're in. But regardless, we see a ton of highlights coming out. Looks like we are going to be heavily tracking bar here. We actually saw a statue highlight, but then straight down it went. So we see red dress walking away without actually accepting, but we don't see the low light because of that.
15 people at the bar, chances are that the spy is gonna take advantage of it, so you can't necessarily blame Pofke for going for it, and I think it might actually be the correct play. Max getting redirected back into the conversations that he started from, pretty neatly done here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
really liked that pathing.
in terms of the venue set, being ahead 5-1 after Aquarium is very scary because the next two venues afterwards are Veranda and 4 out of 7 Pub, which are not necessarily the kindest to the spies. And putting Pofke in a position where he needs to essentially win every single game to win the set is just gonna be a very, very nice spot for Max to be in. But for
Yeah,
now, we
it
have to win this one.
no, that's right, but it also does allow Max to make a few mistakes. It does allow that pressure. Obviously, you're not looking to make mistakes, but it does allow the little bit of alleviance of pressure, which maybe allows you to play in a different, more aggressive way. Especially from my own experience, I know I just love playing aggressive. I think it's a really fun play style, so it's something I'm always really excited to see and watch. But yeah, it looks like we won't really be getting that this game. It's probably similar to the same game as Pofke. We're starting with Seducers followed up by a Fingerprint.
Not too much progress necessarily, but something to start us off with, something to make sure that we aren't gonna be in that big of a time trouble, that the time trouble is gonna be slightly less. But still a bit slower than I would have necessarily liked.
Yeah, not too much going
And in the
on.
red.
It's pretty similar to Pofke, I have to admit. We do get our first objective done, which is contact quickly, followed by a seduce. So we are starting to pick up a little, but still need to get 2 objectives done in a pretty short amount of time. The question is, do we possibly go for 2 quick inspects, or are we going to try and go for a delegate here? It actually looks like we're heading to Byron. We will be picking up a highlight for it. It's not too detrimental, but we may be being watched now in case of the delegate.
I like that once Pofke shifted to getting bar highlights after that barrage, he doesn't go back to inspects and just keeps on doing bar highlights. Because that could get very confusing, especially when there were a few early inspectors that you just might miss one of those, and it just becomes a big whole mess once you're trying to shift mid game. So I respect that Pofke is just staying with the conventions that he chose, even if it's not necessarily the one he might prefer.
I didn't notice that we actually didn't pick up the delegate at all. We just. Oh, that was a pretty rough bug. Oh, but the shark was completely hiding the bug, so we
That
didn't
is
see anything. That was a really good use of the cover from the shark.
that is the aquarium classic. The shark is covering the and we're gonna delegate and we're gonna pick up the briefcase immediately at that same point as well, finishing with fingerprints instead of the purloin. And because we do not wait for that purloin to go off, there's no mission win countdown. There's no overtime. There's just the mission win countdown, which means that Pofke, who might be waiting for the delegate to go off, just gets snubbed in the end. And Max going up
Yeah,
5-1.
that was a really good call by Max at the end there. That was a really nice play on that bug. I loved that using that shark. The bug itself was really poor, but it didn't really matter at all. Just when you've
See,
got that whole cover in front of you, it's awesome.
the theory here is you don't care about how the bug looks as long as you end in the same position in the conversations that you were before the shark arrived.
No, that's exactly right. Because then it looks like you've never moved. You're in a good position. You know, the sniper will never know in that scenario. But no, that was a really nice play from Snax. But it looks like we will be moving on to Veranda, where we actually see Pofke on Alice again. We've had a lot of Alice today, where we will be starting in 3, 2, 1.
Veranda is gonna be a little bit iffy, I think, because there's just more things to do,
Oh,
but
Instant
Pofke.
purloin, and it's a green. Very nice.
I like it. I mean, you are not necessarily up against the wall yet. You can still just. Never mind, Max is on it.
We were
Next-
tracked though. Yeah, what a good shot by Max. Knew that there was actually a deny by Alice and the pickup by Boots there. That was a really, really good catch.
I like that Pofke is going for those weird play for those little cheeses. Because once you are against the wall, you need every little bit of help. But Max just recognizing that with this fade and recognizing that it is a green here with the list being gone because no one would white test Purloins this early. Just going immediately for Pofke. And well,
Yeah, absolutely respect that.
guarantees a
And
draw.
yeah, that was really nice by Pofke for just going for that purloin. On Veranda, it is definitely one of those maps where you can get away with something early and a bit cheesy. So definitely respect the attempt. It's something I would do. So, I love to see it. But regardless, we see Max next. Now we'll be moving on to the spy as Rocker in 3, 2, 1. See a quick AI control here, and we're actually just going to move up right next to our ST. That is really nice. And we're going to get a green. We're going to be over 50% already.
And we've talked about it a little bit earlier, but now that we have guaranteed a draw and are essentially just playing for the win, which is pretty big, but considering that top two players move out of the group and both of them already have a win over Calamay, pretty likely that those two players are just playing for seeding at this point. So Max Snax can not just relax a little bit, but also can try something new, can also play around with Pofke, just starting a little bit of a swing here. So maybe going from a very slow game to a rush to a very slow game yet again, just teasing, testing, and he has whole 5 games to get 1 victory. Which
No, but that's right. When you've got 5 games left and you just need 1 point, that's such a great position to be in. And especially when you're going into venues like pub that are relatively sniper sided, you're really, really happy to be in that scenario to just know that I just need the 1 win. It doesn't really matter how much you win by at this stage in the groups, because I would say that Pofke is your biggest opponent because he is already 1 up. So definitely being able to drop them to 1-1, it's just such a huge advantage.
there are some very exciting tiebreak scenarios that may arise, but Bunny will need to win against either Pofke or Max Snax to trigger those because Calamay is already down 0-2, and well, Bunny hasn't played any games yet, so it might become relevant, but you wouldn't expect it to be relevant as Max Snax or as Pofke, who are already playing, well, essentially for first and for better placement in the playoffs. But for now, Max Snax just getting a little bit of progress on a little bit of different missions, not touching any hotels yet, but a fingerprint already and 1 flirt away is some pretty nice stuff to have in the early half of the game.
Well, that's right. It looks like we're really setting up for a late game rush here, trying to get as many objectives done in about 30 seconds, which I do love to see. It is very interesting to see what the strategy is on Veranda on how to finish as quickly as possible. ST does actually join our conversation, I believe, so that is really nice for us. And we've also got the double agent here, so hopefully we'll be able to get 2 down and 1 as we finish our drink. It looks like we do start our flirt and possibly going in for a contact here. We actually go for the bug, but it does not connect.
That is a little bit unfortunate because that could have been a very fun bug. But however, in the meantime, we get a banana bread, which means that we are now 3 missions away. Well, 1 mission fully completed and 2 missions that you just need half progress on. So can still be late rushable. The one thing that bothers me a little bit is that a lot of these games have been late rushes, so there's not too much variety, and the snipers might actually get a little bit conditioned to think that every game is a late rush, which on one side means that they will be expecting it, And on the other side, means that they will be expecting it, so you can just switch it up in the later games.
We
Swap.
actually go for a swap here. Yeah, I really respect that. It does. Oh, Pofke does notice that we take the shot onto Rocket, and it does make a connection where we will be going down. That was really a nice catch, especially considering there were no highlights here. So not too sure who it was until that point, but yeah, really nice by Pofke to be able to catch that. And that was really good as well, considering that we missed that bug before. Definitely could have gone a different way that game.
And well, that swap might be looking pretty silly right in the corner of the screen, right on top of our screen, but a surprising amount of games have been lost to those, so
Yeah,
can't fault for trying. Either way, 6-2. Pofke is starting to claw back to his well-deserved tie, but to get his well-deserved tie, he has to deserve it first. And now we are gonna be playing Sari on pub 4 out of 7. So let's see if he will be able to get over the line in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I must say that if there was a game that I would say Pofke is going to have the most trouble on, it's probably going to be Spy on Pub. Definitely the odds are stacked against you a little, not an easy Spy map, but we do get right next to our seduction target and actually get 51% instantly, which is really nice. And we see a lot of highlights coming in for stuff like Bar and Inspects as well, so definitely the eyes aren't on us yet. We're just going to have to really try and abuse that, see if we can get some soft tails out of the way. Hopefully we can get an Inspect without getting shot, and hopefully this game just kind of rolls in our direction.
There was double agent right next to us as well for an early banana bread potential, but Pofke chooses not to take it, and well, just play it slow for the time being, which is gonna be stacking the deck even more against him because he has picked one of the slowest characters in the game on a venue that involves a very big amount of walking. I think that's like the second highest amount of walking you usually do on a venue per game, second only to
Yeah,
gallery probably. And especially on
yeah.
the 4 out of 7 variant, where you get slightly more time compared to the new standard of 3-7. But that fourth mission is very, very hard to get against the snipers usually.
It is quite difficult, but we do see Pofke making the ST for the second connection, and it's as you said, it's just such a big movement venue. Like when you're in that situation where you're Sari and you're on the left side conversation where you are now, it's so difficult to be able to move to the bar and just make all that movement. You're just wasting those precious extra seconds that most games you desperately need. But Duke did walk away from us, so it'll be very easy for us to finish our Seduce later. The question is, where do we actually go from here? Because we're not really
Banana bread.
doing anything. It looks like we actually do see the banana bread coming out. We do see the lowlights coming through. Everyone in bar getting low lit. Quite a good banana bread though. Not too many lowlights happening.
2 people low lit, 3 people in a conversation that didn't have a double agent, but not that we know about this. And yeah, very nice little banana bread. Now we're gonna go to the bar, either picking up a delegate, or maybe we can just go for a purloin right out of the gate. No, we will choose a suppler option. And yeah, now we just need to finish our flirt, maybe get that inspect, which is usually the third mission, but on pub it becomes slightly trickier. And yeah, look at how long it takes us to get back to that conversation. And we need to get there because we need that flirt done.
Yeah, it's just it's frustrating because Duke was right on the other side of the map. We really don't need him to be, and we've got 54 seconds left with only we still need 2 objectives to get done here. It looks like we are going to be looking for a delegate, possibly onto Duke here. Actually, no, we did not tell them to
We
go.
have delegated already. Alice has the delegate right here.
Oh,
There
okay.
has been a little bit of double talk. Ooh, Max sees the least gun and shoots Rocker, who is
Yes.
very much nearby and has just inspected as well, which may be looking like a late rush. But for Pofke, honestly, this is a little bit of a godsend because out of all the games, you have said it at the beginning, it's probably one the least likely to be won by him. And well, Max
Yeah.
getting caught in the chaos, caught in the sauce. Just give Pofke more.
Yeah, he will be getting caught in the sauce, as you said. But yeah, we'll be going down 6-3. Pofke will be making a comeback here. I hope very nice, especially when that's the one I would assume you would use the most. But yeah, I do find that shot onto Rocker a little interesting, but was doing a lot. It is frustrating when AI does that. They're just moving around doing so many possible objectives. It's just so irritating. But yeah, we do take that shot. So regardless, we will be moving on to the next match. Pofke hoping to make a nice shot connection here as sniper, where we will be actually seeing Max playing as the general, where we will be starting in 3, 2, 1.
I have to say that I do not approve of this ST choice, but you know what? It doesn't usually matter anyway. So, Max, pick in general, one of the, I think, conventionally stronger characters in game. He is very tall, but his bug has been renowned for how subtle it looks. I don't think it will matter much for Pofke and he will shoot for it, but at the very least, the seduction target right next to us. We have our first flirt done for 30%, so 2 more will get us over the line. And yeah, can just enjoy a little bit of a conversation here in the
Yeah,
party.
really nice. Really nice when the ST comes up. Sadly, we'll only get a white, so as you said, we're not really going to get much value, but, you know, regardless, not much you can really do about it. Pofke just going to be looking for this shot. Really, when you're in this scenario, you know you're down 6-3. You need to make this. You can't, you know, one game and that's all it takes to lose. So I'm sure Pofke is going to be really dialed in. We don't actually go for the walking bug there, but we will likely be going for a delegate here, I believe.
Do you think it would make Pofke play safer, or do you think he will become more desperate now that he's 1 game away? I know on Spy it's usually better to go for cheeses and create chaos, because once you are the one creating chaos, you're the one controlling it. But as for the sniper, do you think he will just start playing safer, or
Oh, definitely. I do think. Look, when I've been watching Pofke's Spy gameplay, I do think it's a little not slow. I do think it's a little bit more methodical.
Banana bread.
So it would not be a surprise at all to watch the slow sniper gameplay as well. But yeah, we don't see that many highlights. We don't see any rush shots yet, which I definitely respect. And we actually see quite a few lowlights coming in as well. So it might be a little bit easier to track this delegate. Hopefully, we will be able to catch it. The question
Mac
is, will it
has
be
gone
coming
for a
soon?
pretty fun play here. So he went
Oh,
ooh and the bug, but
oh,
I've
it's caught though.
I've told you, Pofke does not miss those.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch. I actually didn't see that. Could we watch that bug again? Because I did not see that, even though I was looking at
Ooh.
the bug. So we
So
see him coming through. Oh,
General's
wow.
hand sticks out for a slightest second in the
Yeah, you can see it right at the end.
just as he passes the middle of the doorway, I think. It's probably the most
Yeah,
visible at that point. And
yeah, that
Pofke
was a
catches
really
it,
nice catch. Yeah, that was really
and
nice by
shoots
Pofke.
it. I would like to highlight the fake banana breads that happened in the middle of the game. I think it could have been an attempt to go for a banana bread and delegate, but it's also very funny that everyone leaves and we are standing here alone, which means that, well, we can't banana bread, we are alone in the conversation. So potentially a very neat little trap set up by Max, but Pofke just doesn't get caught in them.
Yeah, absolutely respects that. But yeah, very nice catch by Pofke. Actually, we'll be going into the final set. Tien 6-4. Still possibility for a tie here. So definitely really important games ahead. Very, very close at this point. But we will be seeing, I believe this is Pofke on Pearl, and we will be starting in 3, 2, 1.
So
Right.
another one of the 2 conventional slowest characters. However, on Tien, it's a lot better to play a slow character. And, well, there are a few advantages to playing Pearls. First of all, her statue inspect animations are very slow. So it is a very big benefit when you're trying to get all 3 inspects in one go, because you just get a little bit more time to get your action tests in and can afford to hit a few whites in the meantime. But it's not just the inspects that we're going for. There's also a swap, and it's pending already. And now we
Yeah,
can
nice.
go for a banana bread very quickly, and then oh, that's a
Banana
little bit
bread.
unfortunate because the target was called in already, and Max will know that this is gonna be us because the statue has been swapped and also the list is gone. So Pofke,
Yeah, wow.
we have
That
mentioned
was
how those players have been playing slow, but Pofke going in for a rush, and unfortunately, a few little things going against him and result in Max getting over the line, 7-4.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch by Max, but I loved that play by Pofke. That was so entertaining to watch. I love the green swap. I love going straight for the context, straight for the Perlin, just rushing it out. If Max took just an extra few seconds to really register what was going on, oh, that could have been such a good win for Pofke. But no, that was a really good catch by Max. Definitely a well-deserved win there, being able to start 7. I think this next game is going to be more important for Pofke than it is for Max here. You definitely don't want to lose 8-4 and drop 4 points when you're fighting for that second seed. So yeah, we will be seeing Max here on the Spy, where we actually will be playing as short stack in 3, 2, 1.
That's the first time I've seen anyone talk about Smallman like that. Shot stack is a very, oh boy, very internet way of saying that. 35% on the first alert. We are gonna be clicking the emergency Smallman button in the last game of the set. I mean, everything is decided already for Max, but might as well just have some fun before going over to beat everyone else in the group.
Yeah, well, that's right. I understand that. I think the game is probably more important for Pofke because when you're fighting for that second seed, it can come down to maybe 2 players finish 1 and 2, or 2 players finish 2 and 1. So definitely, it's really good to fight for those extra points because one match can make all the difference, and I know that from my set as well. When I was fighting Royal, it came down very close to just a few matches, but yeah, every match will count in the late game.
Yep. And Max, Pofke recognizing, first of all, that he is playing Tayan, and Smallman is on the venue, so you just highlight Smallman. That's my sniper tip of the day. If you're playing Tayan, just highlight Smallman. You will thank me later. But 68%, Max not doing too much on his own, but it's Tayan, it's a very small venue, a lot of things are very condensed. Unfortunately, the Shoji are not in our favor here, but there's still a lot of very explosive progress potentially around, so I wouldn't necessarily be too worried for now.
Yeah, and we actually denied the drink there. Well, we just decided to walk away, and we will be heading over to middle statues. Yeah, I'm sure that Puffy's really not gonna like that, seeing short stack on middle. But we will be going for just our 3 inspect, and we will be getting all 3 done, putting the statue right back down. That is our first objective completely done. I am sure that the sniper eyes are aimed directly at us right now.
Well, there's a lot of people that have a lot of highlights in the venue, as in 4. And we're only one of those, and well, there's no banana bread just yet, but we are positioned in a way that keeps us very hidden, which makes us more suspicious, so you might actually be right here. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we see Pofke really gliding over to the right side of the venue, which I don't think has actually happened much this set. I think Pofke's been a
Banana
little bit
bread.
more in the middle, so I do think we're actually being fairly heavily watched. We do see the banana bread coming through, where we do see a few lowlights coming out, but yeah, we've still got about 9 people in contention. We've actually, oh no, we're trying to dodge the hit. Oh
I
no,
like it.
I
So
respect that.
the theory here is either hoping that there's enough cover or hoping that Oprah moving in front of the laser just keeps us hidden enough and then just dancing potentially, but unfortunately a little bit mistimed and Pofke just gets those. So last point. 7-5. Max wins, which uh is an upset for sure. People have been arguing if it's our first significant upset of the cup or not, but yeah, Max. Not the one who I would have expected to win this one. However, it's not the only game today.